Hey guys, it's Dave from the Brain Bulwark, and I've brought you a presentation today about the ethics of nootropics. All right, this is a popular topic for a lot of people that are relatively new to the field, or just getting into it, interested, or just people with general curiosity. And a lot of it has to do with people thinking we're creating this unfair advantage by using these supplements. That all of a sudden everybody that uses nootropics is just gonna dominate the world and just be so much more successful over everybody that doesn't have access or for whatever reason just doesn't know about them. All right, so I'm going to debunk some myths. I'm going to provide a little bit of information on my own mindset, and then I'm going to let you kind of make your own opinion based on your now new educated stance on the topic. And I find that that's sort of the root of the issue with a lot of people, that they form these opinions, but they don't do the dirty work. They don't dive in and see, well, what can nootropics really do for me? You know, are they letting me beat my genetics and my innate potential as a human? Are you going to be superhuman? No, of course not. And for those of you that have been following along, you have a realistic idea of what to expect and what you can gain from nootropics and what you can't. And as a result of that education, you realize that it's not some supra physiological benefit. There's a lot to gain, but within the realm of what's reasonable. All right. So I find that education is key to forming a very open-minded and reasonable opinion on the ethics of nootropics. So first, let's define what we mean by fair. So fair, by definition, means in accordance with the rules or standards, legitimate, no cheating or unfair advantage. And this already kind of poses an issue because the definition of fair, unfair advantage, level playing field, we hear a lot with sports. It kind of has inherent flaws just by definition. Okay, so the real question becomes whether or not fair or unfair has any purpose being brought up with the use of nootropics. And as I stated, it's my humble opinion that no, the use of fair and unfair really has nothing to do with nootropics. And anyone who tells you otherwise either has their own agenda, or they're just very closed-minded and uneducated on the topic. So, as I said, the inherent flaw in this whole fair, unfair concept with regard specifically to nootropics is that oftentimes our situation to begin with, prior to using nootropics, is nowhere near fair anyway. If two people are interviewing for a job, do they have identical backgrounds and identical schooling? No, of course not. So why all of a sudden, with the introduction of nootropics, are people so concerned with what's fair and unfair, level playing field, you're cheating, where's your morals, blah, blah, blah. You know, the idea that there's a level playing field and things are fair to begin with prior to nootropic use is just a straw man argument. And there's really no other way to put it. It has no basis. There's no evidence that there's any fair situation in life, right? I mean, we've all experienced this at some point or another. We meet people that have some sort of advantage over us or disadvantage, and then you figure out ways to compensate, overcome, adjust. And that's kind of how I look at nootropics. It's one more piece to our puzzle that we can kind of take things to the next level or kind of reduce the impact of a deficit. Maybe we didn't have access to great schooling, or maybe people are just getting familiar with the idea of improving their cognitive abilities. So the whole idea of fairness, I really think it should just be kind of thrown out the window, for lack of a better way to put it. And as I stated on the bottom, a lot of this comes from just lack of education, bad information on the internet. That's why I try and do my best to really consolidate and give you guys one quality source of information on nootropics. I really want everybody who signs up for my home study course to feel like they don't need to go anywhere else when it comes to nootropics, whether it's emailing me a question, asking me to design a stack, asking me to cover new nootropics. And I just feel like this makes it a lot easier for people trying to get some more experience in this field, because a lot of websites have their own agendas. They're pushing pre-made products and et cetera, et cetera. All right. So now the most important part is, what does this all mean for you with regards to ethics of nootropics? Now you have an idea of my stance on how fair plays into this. And the fact of the matter is, you do have choices. All right. Obviously, you don't need nootropics to be successful. Do I think they can be an absolutely essential part and help you really boost your confidence and abilities? Of course. So, one example is you can stop listening to what other people have to say, especially people that are not educated equivalently and that typically have a closed mind. And those are the people that have overly strong opinions. And if you keep that in mind, when you hear these people kind of bashing nootropics, take a step back and evaluate where they're coming from. Have they studied science and nootropics for years? Do they know the pharmacology and the mechanisms and the research? Or is it just sort of, this initial stance they've taken and they're just sticking to their guns? So that's always important. Try and take a step back and just check the source of the information if somebody's being negative or positive about nootropics. One major thing is, don't think of nootropics as good or evil. It doesn't have to be so black and white. Just think of it as just another supplement you're taking. This happens to be for your mind. We take stuff for our immune system, our energy levels, our digestive system. So I don't know why sometimes nootropics tends to stand out so much from somebody's supplement regimen, but we need to stop looking at it as either so good or so bad, as opposed to just another supplement that we can utilize to improve our efficiency and effectiveness. And in this case, it happens to be with regards to cognition. And as I've stated before, one more time, I think the best way to look at nootropics is just one more piece to the puzzle. Is it everything? No. Is it useless? No. So if you have the other things in place, like nutrition, meditation, sleep, exercise, then yeah, nootropics, you've created a very ideal environment for nootropics to help rather significantly in many cases. So, to sum it all up, learning about nootropics, which is why I've created this course, is the number one best thing you can do, whether it's forming an opinion on whether or not you agree with the use of nootropics, or just how to use them safely and effectively. I'm a true believer in the power of education on any topic of interest. And with that said, in my opinion, there's really no better time than now. So I really suggest everybody who is interested, sign up for the free ebook I have. It gives you a little bit of a taste of how you can improve your life with 5 basic steps to maximizing your cognitive potential. It goes over some really unique methods to do so. And the ebook's totally free. I just wanted to introduce everybody to sort of some of my methods and creative ways. And as always, our goal is to really strive to meet your maximum potential. I don't ever tell anybody you're going to be an entirely new person, you're going to be smarter than your wildest dreams, because that's just not the case. My goal for everyone is just for you to achieve the absolute best you can for you. Not comparing you to anybody else, not Einstein, Newton, anybody, Steve Jobs. No, you just want to be the best you can be, as cliche as it is. And that's our goal. All right? So as I said, education, education, education. Stop trying to buy into other people's beliefs and keep an open mind. Don't listen to what society says, any other closed-minded people, uneducated people, and just start diving into all the research and knowledge. And my course is a great way to just get instant access to a consolidated source of information. All right? And then once you start building up this knowledge base, you'll feel just free of all these stigmas and judgments. And you could start making your own quality, educated opinions. All right? And at the bottom, I just provided a link. You can head on over there and just enter your email address, and you'll get instant access to download that free ebook I talked about. And if you have any questions, you can always email me at questions@thebrainbulwark.com. I always enjoy hearing from you guys, and I look forward to what I can bring you next time. All right? Stay focused.